For today's lesson, you'll need Reader 8 tip and your Dottie reading marker.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, Hopscotch. It must be Roundup review time.
It sure is.
Great. What do you need our help with today?
Well, I've lassoed some sentences that have splash words in them. Do you think you could read the sentences and find the splash words so we can get them back to the pond to Hopper?
That sounds challenging, but I think so.
Read the sentence silently, friend. Now read it out loud with Mrs. R.
Tip is here. Which words in this sentence are splash words? Is and here.
Yee-haw! You're off to a great start. Here's the next sentence I've caught.
Okay, friend, read the sentence silently to yourself. Now read it aloud with me. Ken has a new cub. Do you see the splash words? And new. Great job.
You're amazing, cowpokes. Here's one last sentence I've rounded up.
Let's read silently. Now together. Ben has a little cup. Can you point to the splash words in this sentence? We already rounded up but do you see another one? Little.
Yee-haw! Hopper will be so happy to get his splash words back.
Well, I'm glad we could help, Hopscotch.
You know, after a busy day, I just love to lay back and look at the stars. Sometimes I pretend there's words written in the stars to practice my word family.
What a creative way to practice your words. Do you think we could try?
I guess so. See if you can find all the words in the ick family.
Friend, help me read the words on the stars. The first one is Nick. Then tick. What's the third star? In. And then kick. The next one is sick. And last, pick. How do we do, Hopscotch? Did we find all the ick family words?
You sure did. Let's see if you can do it just as well with the uck family.
Okay, let's see. What's the first word? Peck. Buck. Tuck. Puck. And neck.
Wow, I thought for sure having uck and eck families on the start would confuse you. But no, sorry. There's no fooling you, cowpokes.
Our friend is learning how to read lots of new words, even words that end with double consonants like the ones we just read in the stars.
That's amazing. See you later, partner. Thanks for helping.
Bye, Hopscotch. Thanks for another fun Roundup review. And now, friend, let's read with Mrs. Lawson.
Welcome back to the Reading Corner. I'm glad you're here. Take a look at these two things. I have 2 balls. Are they exactly the same? No, they're not. One ball is big and one is little. Little. That's one of your new splash words. Say it with me. Little. Say it again. Little. This is the little ball. This one right here. Now, I have a couple other things that I want to show you. Take a look at these two things. Two crayons. Now, one of them is old. Can you tell which one is old? This one right here. Is that the one that you chose, the green one? Can you tell? Look, doesn't have a point on it anymore, does it? It's been used a lot. It is an old crayon. Probably been coloring trees and grass and bushes. Lots of things are green. The red crayon, though, look, it has a nice point on it. The red crayon is new. Say that with me. New. This is another one of your new splash words. Say it with me. New. This crayon is new. Well, let's do some more reading. Here's a word from what family? It's a word in the it family. Can you read that word? Bit. I ate a bit of my dessert after supper. Now I'm going to change one thing to the word bit. Watch. Let's change the lowercase b to an uppercase B. The word is still bit, but here, bit is a name, so it begins with an uppercase letter. Bit would be a good name for a fish. Now look at this word. The word family is ick, I-C-K. Begins with an N. It's a name. It's the name Nick. Nick lives in the house next door. Here's another name. This is in the ib family. What is the word? Nib. We named my hamster Nib. Remember, names begin with uppercase letters. Here's another word. See the word family? The ip family. Add a T to the beginning, it's the word tip. Our dog has white on the tip of his paw. Tip. And because of that, we named her Tip. Now it's the name of the dog, so there you see the uppercase letter because names begin with uppercase letters. I want you to take out your reader. Here it is. Let's take a look at the cover of this reader. There you see that word we just looked at. The word tip. On this page, I see a cat. And what time of day is it in this picture? Nighttime. How can you tell? Look at the stars. It's a night sky, isn't it? What are some things you do at nighttime? What are some things you do to get ready for bed? Brush your teeth? Get a drink of water? Do you like to listen to music as you go to sleep? Do you tell everyone in your house good night? Maybe someone reads a story to you. Reading before bed is such a nice thing to do. Well, the title of our reader is what again? Tip. Go ahead and open up to the title page. Fold it gently back so you only see the title page. And there's the title again. Tip. And on this page, you see the name of the author, Jan Joss. And it's illustrated by Paula Cheadle. She drew the pictures. Okay, now you can turn to page 2. Fold it back so you only see page 2. And look, there's that cat again. And where is the cat? Is he sitting on a fence? Maybe. Is he in a barn? Maybe. Guess we're going to have to wait to find out. What do you think the cat is doing? Looks like he's looking up at something. Do you think he's looking at the stars? It could be, but look at this. What is that? It's a web. I want you to read the first sentence on this page to find out the name of the cat. Read it silently. Read it to yourself. Who is here? What is the name of the cat? Tip. Tip the cat. Why do you think the cat's name is Tip? Do you think he walks quietly like he's tiptoeing? Maybe he tips things over. What do you think? Any ideas? Look at his tail. It's white. Just the tip of his tail is white. That's why he's named Tip. Well, I want you to read the first sentence with me. Ready? Tip is here. Tip is not sleeping. Who is sleeping? Is anyone asleep in this picture? Do you think someone will be asleep in the next picture? Well, flip your book over and let's find out. What is Tip doing here? Tip is yawning. Uh-oh. Do you see anything new in this picture? Do you see a spider here in the web? I want you to read the first sentence to find out who is here with Tip. Who is with Tip? Who's here? Bit. Who is Bit? Bit is the spider. Why do you think the spider's name is Bit? Well, he's so small, he takes up just a little bit of space. Let's read the first sentence together. Ready? Bit is here. Could the spider be asleep? Read the next sentence to find out where Bit will sleep. Be sure to read the sentence in your book. This is a sentence I want you to read. Pause the program and join me when you're ready. There were a couple new words in that sentence, and it's fine if you needed to ask someone for help. Where is Bit going to sleep? In his new web. Do you think it takes a long time for a spider to spin a web? You know, one time there was a spider that would build its web every night outside our house and then take it down every morning. I enjoyed going out at night and watching it spin its web. It took a while for him to make that huge web, and he'd use it to catch flies or beetles or mosquitoes. It was fascinating to watch. Who made spiders? God made them for a reason. The spiders help keep the bug population to just the right level. Well, let's read the second sentence together. Ready? Bit is in his new web. Good night, Bit. So where's Bit? Up here in his new web. Do you think we will see someone else sleeping in the next picture? Tip looks sleepy, doesn't he? He's yawning. Do you think Tip's going to be asleep on the next page? Well, let's turn to page 4 and find out. Oh, look. Did you think Tip would be asleep on this page? He's not sleeping. I wonder where he's going. You know, cats are very curious. I had cats as pets when I was young, and I remember that they liked to snoop around. Can you hear a cat's footsteps? Not usually. Why do you think Tip is tiptoeing quietly away? Is someone sleeping on this page? Yes, it's Bit the spider. When someone is asleep at your house, do you try to tiptoe so you don't wake them up? Oh, I hope you try to be quiet. That's a thoughtful thing to do. Well, I want you to read the first sentence here on this page, and I want you to find out who is here. Who is here? Tip. And he isn't asleep either. Let's read this sentence out loud together. Ready? Tip is here. Tip is not sleeping. Who is sleeping? Well, look, Bit the spider is asleep in his new web. Do you think that Tip looks sleepy now? Not really. Will Tip find another creature that's sleeping? Flip your book over to page 5 and let's find out. Is Tip getting ready to settle down to go to sleep? Not yet. He's curious again. What new creature do you see in this picture? Well, let's see. We see Bit the spider, but we saw him before. Of course, we see Tip. Look. Aw, it's a mouse. Is the mouse asleep? Looks like it. I want you to read the first sentence on your page and find out the name of that little mouse. What is the mouse's name? It's Nib. That's a cute name for a mouse. Nib is short for nibble, and mice like to nibble, especially cheese. Well, I want you to read the next sentence silently to find out where Nib is sleeping. Go ahead and read that sentence to yourself. Where is Nib? He's in his cup. Does Nib look like he's fast asleep? He does. Look, he's all covered up with a little blanket. Do you think this is a real story or make-believe? Well, mice usually don't sleep covered up with a blanket, and cats and mice are not usually friendly neighbors. This is a make-believe story. It's a very nice bedtime story, isn't it? Well, let's read together and see if you can sound sleepy. Ready? Let's start with that first sentence on the page, talking about Nib the mouse. Ready? Nib is here. Nib is in his little cup. Oh, good night, Nib. Well, are you getting sleepy? Do you think Tip is getting sleepy yet? Well, turn to page 6 and let's find out what happens. Fold your book back so you only see page 6. Does it look like Tip has finally gone to sleep? Look at his eyes. I don't think his eyes are closed. What do you think Tip is doing? I wonder. Read the first sentence to yourself. It should be easy now, so you don't even have to pause. I want you to read it silently. This first sentence. Well, who is still here? It's Tip. Let's read the first sentence together. Ready? Tip is here. What do you think Tip is looking at? I wonder. Listen as I read. Tip is not sleeping. Who is sleeping? Well, who has been sleeping in the story so far? We've had Bit the spider, and we have Nib the mouse. Who hasn't gone to sleep in the story? Tip. Tip the cat has not been asleep yet. Well, I wonder if we're going to find out what Tip is looking at. Go ahead and flip your book over to page 7. Do you see Tip? Here he is on a windowsill. That's where he is. And who is Tip looking at? See? There's Tip. In the picture on page 6, we saw that he was looking at something, and now we see more of the picture on page 7. And who is he looking at? He's looking at a boy, this boy. I want you to read the first sentence silently now to find out the boy's name. What is the boy's name? It's Nick. Let's read together. It says, Nick is here. Is this Nick's bedroom? Doesn't look like a bedroom, does it? Read the next sentence to yourself to find out where Nick is sleeping. Where is Nick sleeping? He's sleeping in his hut. What is a hut? Well, a hut is like a cabin or a shed. Do you think Nick might be camping out? Well, look at this picture. There's camping stuff all around. What do you see? A lantern? I see binoculars. Here's a fishing pole and a can of worms. Here's a hat. Look, here's a bowl, a cup, even a fork and a spoon, things that you'd use camping. And what is Nick sleeping on? This is a special kind of a bed called a cot. A cot can be folded up and carried easily. You know, camping out is a fun thing to do. Have you ever done that? Maybe you slept in a camper or a tent. Have you ever camped out in your own backyard? Well, it looks like Nick is very sleepy. Let's see if we can read this page together and see if you can sound very sleepy. All right, will you read these 2 sentences with me? Ready? Here we go. Sound sleepy. Oh, Nick is here. Nick is in his hut. Good night, Nick. Ah. Well, do you think Tip is going to stay here on the windowsill? Where could he go? Turn the page and I want you to fold it back so you only see page 8. Aw, look at the cat in this picture. Do you think that Tip is Nick's pet? Probably. I want you to read the first sentence silently to find out where Tip is. I'll wait for you. You go ahead and read it to yourself. Let's read. Tip is here. And where is Tip? Right here next to Nick on his cot, all curled up and sleeping on his blanket. Does Tip seem comfortable? I think so. Well, finally, what do we see? Tip is sleeping. Good night, Tip. I like this story. I hope that you liked it too. In our story, who did Tip say goodnight to? Remember? He said goodnight to Bit the spider, Nib the mouse, and who's this? Nick the boy. And who finally fell asleep at the end of our story? Tip. Well, I'm glad that Tip finally found a place to sleep. Now I want you to look at the very, very last page, our words at work. And look, we get to play a game of Splash. Okay, you ready to read? Here we go. Little, new. Now stand up and splash with Hopper. Okay, look over here at our phonics review. Look at all these words. These will be some words for you to practice. We have some words in the ick family. Let's say those together. Kick, nick, pick, sick. Can you point to the word that names the boy in our story today? His name was Nick. All right, let's read some words from the in family. Ready? In, bin, pin, sin. Now over here we have the ip family. Hip, nip, sip, tip. There's Tip with an uppercase T. That's a name. That's the name of the cat in our story today. All right, look down here at the it family. Ready? It, bit, kit, sit. Can you point to the name of the spider? The spider was named Bit. All right, now let's read the words from the up family. Up, cup, pup, sup. And then from the ut family, butt, cut, hut, and nut. That's a lot of words, isn't it? You know lots of words. Be sure to practice those along with your reader. You know, this would be a great book to read before you go to bed. Maybe you can read it tonight. Well, be sure to practice all those words in the back as well as your reader. And when you can read your book well, your name can be written right here on the Reading Reward. Well, I enjoyed our time together in the Reading Corner, and I'll see you next time.